Guys, Happy New Year. These are your cards for Wednesday, January 1st, 2020. Welcome to 2020. This is supposed to be a very spectacular year in love and abundance and money and spiritual growth and spiritual growth in the sense of if you are getting in touch of your spiritual roots. We're pulling from the numerology guidance cards. Tarot deck, I call them. I didn't even know they were guidance cards. So right off the bat, we have individuality. So it's like a lot of us sit there and go with the latest trends. Some of the latest trends are nice, like with makeup and hair and music and fashion. But, you know, Spirit is also saying, like, we are all unique like snowflakes. We all are our own individual selves. We're getting environment again. I like this book in the sense of, like, respecting the environment because it's like, you know, our elders, and I mean this with the utmost respect, are on the mindset that it doesn't affect them. They won't be around when things happen, and it's like, that's unfortunate thinking because, you know, you got to think about your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and the children to come that are going to be on this earth, who it's going to affect them. Surrender. And the only reason I really don't care too much for the environment card is because they're plugging someone's, what do you call it, agenda and a documentary. Physical activity. So we've been getting this a lot, especially because it's winter time in a lot of the Western Hemisphere, so it's like hard to get your exercise in. I haven't lately. Oh my gosh, both my kids are sick. Compassion. Very nice. Compassion. Have compassion for those around you. Compassion for people in your life. Compassion for people in your community. Compassion with family members. Especially it feels like the elder ones. So I'm going to read the individuality just quick. I won't read the whole thing because it wasn't directly pulled. So just something that we can keep in the back of our minds. This card indicates a need to embrace your individuality and to be true, authentic self. Rather than follow the crowd, you're being guided to break away from the pack and take the road less traveled, in quotes. Instead of feeling like you're a square peg in a round hole, you are being encouraged to build your own square hole. So basically, you know, there's a lot of sense of this with maybe you're running with the wrong crowd. A sense that you've lost who you are. You used to be this square peg, but now you've whittled yourself down to this round peg, and now you fit into the crowd, but it's like you've kind of lost yourself. And we've been getting that a lot with the cards, you know, with Archangel Gabriel, to find your voice again. It feels like you have allowed people in your life to change you into this square peg to fit into their round hole, and you're very much a square peg. You're not a round peg. So we have environment. A lot of double-digit numbers. This card indicates a time to focus on the environmental awareness by educating yourself about what's going on behind the scenes. Honor Mother Earth as a living, breathing entity and recognize that we are privileged to be here as her guests. And yes, I totally agree with this. Energy Oracle deck also calls for this, but if you see, you know, I'm not saying like dog poop or something. I'm talking about like if it's, you know, a wrapper on your property or a wrapper you could see that you easily for you to pick it up and throw it in the trash, so that way, or put it in the right receptacle. Like if you're able to recycle it. Just honoring Mother Earth, and it will come back to you. It's kind of connected to that cosmic connection. You know, putting peanuts out for the squirrels or the chipmunks, putting out seeds for the birds. You know, when we have bread that has gone stale, we could throw it out for the birds in the air. So it's like honoring the cycle of life. By drawing this card, you're being encouraged to dig deep and look beyond the surface to question whether your personal or political decisions are in the best interest of planet Earth. See, this is why I kind of don't really like this card. I'm not going to go any further. I'm just saying, you know, just be aware of what you're doing when you're planting your flowers, or maybe you're someone that starts planting seeds early. Be mindful of what the bees like. They love purples, and try to be and plant those kind of things, because soybeans when they plant them, they spray them with the chemical, and the bees go to pollinate the soybeans, and that's what's actually killing them off. So it's just like being mindful of what we plant in the environment, planting our own vegetables if we're able to. Just giving back to Mother Earth as much as possible, loving on her as she loves on us. So surrender. This card indicates a need to surrender your attachment to a particular situation or preferred outcome. We do want a certain outcome. We all do. We all want to grow. We all want to flourish. We all want to have abundance and retire at a young age. But sometimes it's like, we got to work a little harder than others. You know that from your whole life history, as long as you've been on this earth, how things have come to you. We are also reminded that things will come more easily to us, especially after March 1st, when Saturn is no longer influencing Capricorn and Jupiter is there with abundance. So the signs that are under the elements, I'm not sure if it's an earth or water sign, fire sign. I think it's fire, but they will feel it more than we will. I'm an earth sign, so I will feel it less than them. I actually don't even know if I have Capricorn in one of my houses either. If you're wondering what your houses are, you could Google free numerology chart if you know what time you were born at, and that helps. Desperation blocks manifestation. Therefore, the more you struggle to attract your desire, the more you push it away. By drawing this card, you're being encouraged to detach from the situation and surrender the outcome to the divine. In order to attract what you want, you must give the universe space to deliver your request. It can also be achieved by getting out of the way so that everything can unfold as it should. It isn't your job to quote-unquote make it happen. It is simply your job to allow it to happen. When you surrender the outcome to the divine, you let the magic flow. In order to improve your current situation, you're asked to give it to cycles that are encouraging you to let go, trust, and surrender. Make peace with your life as it is today and appreciate what you already have. When you do what brings you joy rather than fret about the end result, divine order and timing will bring the perfect outcome your way. It's kind of hard as with myself. It's like, I know I'm able to improve my life if I was able to move to town, and I'm kind of waiting on something. So it's like, it's kind of hard to, have that patience and let go and believe in the magic and trust where I'm a spiritual individual. I do trust in God. I do trust this is going to happen in divine timing. And I keep telling my kids that, to have this trust as well. And sometimes it's like, when you've done everything you can in this situation, you just wish. I'm a fixer. I like to fix things. So if with me, it's like, I know I could fix this situation, but unfortunately, I have to wait on other individuals. Physical activity. This card indicates the need for exercise, which reduces stress hormones and releases feel-good endorphins in the brain, creating an overall sense of well-being, self-confidence, and peace, because you attract what you feel. When you are consistently feeling good, you invite blessings into your life. It's so funny that it's like the first card of the year is surrender, environment, physical activity, compassion. These are the traits we kind of sit there and, when we make our New Year's resolution to surrender into whatever situations are going on in our lives. Physical activity, because we're like, oh, I wish I was maybe 10 pounds lighter, or, so much pounds lighter or heavier. Maybe you want to gain weight. So it's like, kind of funny that the first day of the year, this is what we pull. Compassion, having compassion for people in our lives, compassion for people in our community, and people around the world. So it's kind of funny that this is what we've pulled. In order to improve your current situation, you're asked to give it to cycles that are encouraging you to exercise your body. So they're talking about walking, running, swimming. I'm not going to name everything they give off to. Being physical active will help you feel good about yourself. It's just like, have 2 sick kids and see how physically active you are. Up and down 3 floors for the past 5 days. Compassion. This is the last card for the first. This card indicates a need to be kind and compassionate towards others, especially those who extend beyond your family and circle of friends, whether it's ill-tempered clerk at the supermarket checkout or a homeless person on the street. You are being urged to look beyond your judgment to see what lies beneath. There's a lot of truth to the saying, don't judge a man until you've walked a mile in his shoes. For how could you possibly know the story behind others' lives? So it's so true when people are like, you think you know the outcome of this situation. I'll take, for example, everybody puts becoming a widow or a widower all into one box, that everything works out a certain way. And that's not true at all. It's like you have no idea what kind of devastation those people have been through. Some of them is worse than others, so it's like, don't think that it's a clean little cool box that you get to pack up and you're done. It's further from the truth. Even anyone that's dealt with bereavement, and they have to deal with everything, and it's like everyone's situation is so different. And I think a lot of people are realizing that as they are now dealing with this situation themselves, how harshly they have judged others. That's why they say don't judge others unless you want them to judge you. By drawing this card, you are being encouraged to open your heart and mind to see others through the eyes of love. Every time you feel someone else's pain as if though they were your own, you rise your personal vibration and the vibration of the world. When you show kindness towards a stranger, you're living as your higher self. When you are understanding and loving, you align yourself with the divine. So this is so true. It's like, when people reach out to myself and other healers, they want a free reading. And it's like, we can provide guidance and stuff, but, we're compassionate. Don't think that we're not compassionate. But it's sometimes these people end up being abusive, and one situation, they asked for help, I helped them, and then all of their friends started DMing me, asking me for free readings. And I'm like, you sit there and try to rise to that higher self in this kind of situation, it kind of hardens you, because it's like, really? You tried to show compassion, be your higher self, as this compassion card is saying, and people abuse it. So if you feel that if you reached out to someone, they're kind of harsh with you, this is why. Because this situation comes up where you try to help one, you show compassion, you put yourself in their shoes, and you try to guide them as best as you can, and you don't ask for anything in return. And then they turn around and it's like, 5 of them turn around and want a free reading. And it's like, it doesn't work that way. To improve your current situation, you are being asked to adjust to and harmonize with the natural rhythms and cycles of your life. Cycles that are encouraging to show compassion towards others as you broaden your understanding for other cultures, personalities, and points of view. You increase your potential avenues to make your dreams come true. Observation without judgment is the key to your success. So try to quiet that judgmental side of ourselves. We are all quick to judge. I am just as guilty as anyone else. And I sit there and I'm like, does that improve who I am? What do I gain out of judging that person? Nothing. So it's just better to observe and try to sit there and help guide them than anything. Remember who you are. Exactly when they're saying surrender, that you are not a round peg. You are a square peg. You are a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You are very loved. So you're very much a square peg. Surrender to that you are not a circle peg like everybody is trying to make you into. Be who you are. Victory. We got this yesterday. Your prayers have been heard and answered. Have faith. So I guess because I actually was questioning, because we had victory in the reverse for some, where things were delayed, and I'm like, well, we have victory twice here. So Spirit is like, okay, we'll make it clear. Here you go. I love that. You are safe. I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you and your loved ones and home. Archangel Michael. Love that. Especially when you feel like, your energies, like, with us, it's like, I'm very much drained, taking care of 2 sick little boys, and with the holidays and all the readings, which I'm very thankful for, but it's like, Archangel Michael's here to remind me and all those individuals that, maybe their energies are low. He's still here. A new start is coming. Very nice. New moon. And if you're feeling things a little more heavier, it's okay. It's, we still have the eclipse energy around us for the next 6 months, as JJ Constellations kindly shared with us on the live. You are very close to achieving your goal. look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. I also feel like the love. I don't feel it this time, but usually when I see this, I always think of Cupid's arrow. I don't feel it this time, though. So, guys, be compassionate. Surrender to whatever they're telling you here is to, you know, be authentic to your true self. Physical activity, get your muscles moving, get your mind moving. You know, it's not so much to look at, like I said, it's not so much to fit into their square hole, into their square hole, or their round hole. You're a square peg. So it's just, you know, it's all about your actual self. Be an individual. Go to the gym because you want to, not because you want to look like everybody else. You know, not all of us are going to be supermodels, but, you know, could be your healthiest self as possible in 2020. Why not? For your physical self, your mental self, and your spiritual self. So I hope you have a very blessed, happy new year. Here's to 2020. May blessings be upon you and your whole family and your loved ones. And we'll see you for January 2nd, 2019. Daily Pick a Card. Have a good one.